So Raw Egg Nationalist is maybe someone you haven't heard of, quite well known online, very smart, writes anonymously, often at the American Mind, and certainly on Twitter. He is the leader of a movement that's looking outside the mainstream for ways to get healthy. We spoke to him for our new Tucker Carlson Originals documentary, The End of Men. Here's part of the conversation. If the bro scientists have a spiritual leader, it would be a man who calls himself Raw Egg Nationalist. Here's his message.
The enemy today is what I like to call soy globalism. The globalist aim is to destroy nations and local communities, and they do this by isolating communities and sickening them through food, and also through so-called medicine, and all the dreadful chemicals we're exposed to on a daily basis. The globalists want you to be fat, sick, depressed, and isolated, the better to control you and to milk you for as much economic value as they can before they kill you. That's soy globalism in a nutshell. Own nothing, live in the pod, eat the soy. The best response to this is a strong politics of nationalism. The nation is only as strong as the individuals who make it up, and that's where raw eggs come in. Eggs are a superfood, packed with protein, fats, vitamins, minerals, and anabolic cholesterol, the absolute opposite of the disgusting rubbish that the globalists want you to eat. Eggs are cheap. You can't patent an egg. By making the individual strong, you make the nation strong.
We're honored to have Raw Egg Nationalist on the show now. He joins us anonymously. Raw Egg Nationalist, thanks so much for coming on. Why is it, so your position as articulated in the tape we just played is, it's better to be strong and healthy than to be weak and unhealthy. Why is that so threatening to the people in charge?
Well, thanks for having me, Tucker. I think it's threatening for a number of different reasons, and one of them, at least, is because illness is big business. Yes. Illness is huge business in the developed world, especially in the US. So whether we're talking about food, about the awful processed food that most people eat that's laced with high fructose corn syrup and canola oil, whether we're talking about the medical regime and the medical failure to address the root causes of people's physical and mental ailments, the prescriptive model of medicine, or whether we're talking about the harmful chemicals that are featured in the documentary, which it's worth remembering are essential to modern manufacturing processes. You can't make plastic without these horrible estrogenic chemicals that are wreaking havoc with men and women's endocrine systems. So there's that. Illness is big business.
But you would think Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to interrupt you. And the second thing is what?
I was just going to say that progressives are afraid of what fit, healthy, motivated men can do. Men are a revolutionary force, plain and simple. History tells that time and again. I mean, today is Columbus Day, right?
Yes.
So, yeah, there's that too, definitely.
And that does seem to be what triggers them. The idea that if men aren't passive, if they're not medicated, if they're not just sitting inside all day, then maybe there'll be a challenge to the hegemony of the people wrecking everything.
Exactly. I think the real power of this documentary, Tucker, is the fact that you're forcing them to face facts that they don't want to face. You're pointing to hard facts, to real trends that are substantiated by proper research, by real scientists. And they can't just sweep this away. They can't sweep it under the rug. No, they can't. Rag Nationalist, you're definitely one of the stars of this documentary. We're grateful for that and for coming on tonight. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me, Tucker.
The End of Men is the documentary. It's now on Fox Nation.